Good morning, this is Paul, and today I'm going to share with you my experiences with HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. As you can see here, Paul Thompson describes it very much like you just saw, and that was El Grullo with a new branch. So what I find interesting in Paul Thompson's book is he actually had two different cuttings, you can see on the bottom. So he thought that there was variations between ocamponis, and I agree with that. So here's El Grullo. You can see a new branch is going to have this waxy, or I should say powdery residue, kind of powdery to protect it from sun. And in time, after a few seasons, that will kind of dissipate and the plant will be an olive green. You can see that's an older branch right there. So generally this variety is sun, heat, cold tolerant, and it's a good pollen source for other varieties. Has a very large, attractive flower. And the bummer about it is that it is slower to grow, especially one of the slowest varieties for me, and slow to produce fruit. Now, it is a very firm fleshed fruit, and the taste varies. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. The ones I've had, they taste very much like a berry, but some people report beets, a beet flavor, or kind of moldy. So let's talk a little bit about all these cuttings I have here that are HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. So starting out, this is kind of a nice trifecta here. This is El Grullo. This is an unknown variety I got from Mexico. Actually, my friend got for me. It came from Mexico. The spines are longer than El Grullo, and it could just be a very similar variety. It could be something a little special. We'll see. But here's El Grullo in the center. And then this one, they called Enzo, but I'm pretty sure it's San Lorenzo. Obviously, I'm not going to sell any of these. They're just for me. And I am curious to see what this becomes, but if it's Enzo, I would highly guess it's San Lorenzo. I mean, not many other varieties have longer spines than that, although my friend said there is one. I want to say he said it was like Ella or something, I can't remember, but it had longer spines supposedly than this one. So you can see another general trait about ocamponis is that new growth will be kind of bluish greenish with that powdery residue. It's very horny, which means that it's that kind of grayish on the edges here. That's what horniness means for dragon fruit people, in case you're wondering. See it there on the outer edges? And then they left to grow at the base. Look at that. It's like every single type of ocamponis, that's what it loves to do. It's like what it's born to do. Look at this one. So what I think I have is El Grullo for sure. I think this unknown variety could just be something a little different. The spines are different, but the cutting looks younger. You can see it's kind of powdery on the left there. And then I'm pretty sure I have San Lorenzo here, which is interesting. Very long spines. And then this one, it's definitely probably going to be unknown forever, but I did notice the spines are a bit shorter. Here's a better view of the new growth, but the spines take longer to come in. You can see that they're short when the new growth starts, but this one generally seems to have much shorter spines, although you can see it was abused. I mean, who knows how long it was in that greenhouse for. But that's kind of a few of my HYLOCEREUS ocamponis varieties. You can see El Grullo's had quite a few cuttings. I took 3, and they're doing great. So this is a cutting from this season with plenty of new growth. So don't be afraid to take a younger cutting. You can see it's actually has much quicker growth than this older cutting I took last season. You can see the difference. See how it's turned olive green and kind of lost some of that sun protection versus a year 1 cutting. All right, let me go show you, believe it or not, I have a few more. Let's go talk about them. Okay, so this beautiful variety is actually a hybrid created by Edgar Valdivia. This is Tricia, Tricia. I know I misspelled it on this label. If you see it, I apologize. But you can see it has a lot of similar traits to HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. I believe it was a HYLOCEREUS ocamponis crossed with condor pollen. I could be wrong. You can see it's very spiny. It's got that olive green on the older growth, and the younger growth is kind of that bluish with the bluish powder. You can see it also does really well to taking grafts. So here's a cutting I cut this season and grafted a seedling tip, and it's doing great. But again, you can see powdery residue on that younger cutting versus that olive green color. Although you can see this thing got chlorosis from sun damage from heat damage, I should say, or heat wave. But they don't really care. They're going to turn green either this winter or maybe even sooner at the end of this fall. But that's kind of what happens, is they will, excuse me, yellow and in direct full sun in Southern California, but they'll turn right back into this beautiful olive green. So again, you can see this is all Tricia, and look at the variation between young growth and old growth. Big difference. All right, let me go show you the ones that are related to HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. So this beautiful variety is Valdivia Roja. It's not related to Edgar Valdivia. It is related to a farm, and that's in those same regions of Mexico where other HYLOCEREUS ocamponis are found. But look at how similar the traits are. It's not as spiny, but it definitely has that blue-green powdery residue on the new growth. And you can see it will yellow a bit, and really old growth turns that olive green and kind of loses its powdery residue. And another trait, you can see, likes to grow at the base. That's what they do. So this is Valdivia Roja. Fruit is a different shape compared to the other HYLOCEREUS variety, ocamponis varieties that I've talked about. The shape of that fruit is more kind of like egg-shaped, I guess you could say. It's really, really pretty. Where this one looks more like a traditional dragon fruit. Hi, Kiki. So this is Valdivia Roja. All right, let me go show you the black dragon, which is also related to HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. So this is what I call Selenocereus cauniflorus crossed with HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. People online call it black dragon fruit, but I don't know if that's the best term. I believe the Selenocereus is the mother and the ocamponis was the pollinator. Now I could be wrong, but here's a HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. This is, they call it Enzo or San Lorenzo, but you can see it's four-sided. And then this one is also four-sided. But if you look at the structure of the plant, there are definitely some differences. And so, I don't know, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think that the black dragon fruit, or this one, there's a few of them. There's like black africanus, and they're all different lengths of spines, and they don't look the same, different structures of the plant. But this one, Selenocereus cauniflorus, crossed with HYLOCEREUS ocamponis, you can see it's definitely just so much different than the other ones I've shown you today. Very beautiful though. So I'm excited. This thing is rooted already, and it looks like it might shoot some new growth this winter here. Let's see. Ow, this thing is spiny. That hurt. You can see, very beautiful plant. But people are getting fired up about this one, but I call it what it is, Selenocereus cauniflorus crossed with HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. So there you go. That is, I hope that will shed some light into some of the varieties that we are collecting, and hopefully you are collecting too. So that's what I know about HYLOCEREUS ocamponis. Give us a like and a subscribe, and have yourself a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.